are, go ahead, Diane, you can take it from here. And then today we'll have Robert from RAZMobility, who will be sharing the Mini Vision 2 device and giving us training for the RAZMobility devices. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. So this is Diane from Blind Shell. I just wanted to make it real quick and let everybody know that today is October 31st and a new system update came out today. So if you want to do that on your phones, go to settings, go down to system update, do check for update. The new update will show up. Scroll down to download now, and then it will download. Now, I just want to let you know that there's been a lot of backup, like everybody's been trying to do it at the same time. So there's been issues with that. So you may want to wait till later on tonight to do it. And then the other thing is that somebody had asked if we have an alert system on our phone. So if somebody would fall, would that alert go to 911 or a family member? And at this time, we do not, but that's something that we are looking into. So I will now pass it on to Robert, who's got another excellent, accessible cell phone.
Thank you, Diane.
You're welcome.
Should I go ahead? Yes, I will go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. Good, Robert. Thank you.
Yeah.
A little introduction. My name is Robert Felgar. I'm one of the owners and CEO of RAZMobility. We're actually based here in Maryland in Cabin John, right outside of Bethesda. And we supply a number of devices for the Maryland program. And one of those is the Minivision 2 Plus, which is what I'll be discussing today. A little change. I think, it's a very simple device by design. So I think that we only need one session to go over it. If we needed much more than that, then the device wouldn't be as simple as advertised. So instead of having 2 days to discuss this phone, we will have one. If you have any questions during the presentation, I think there's a way to raise your hand. You can do that or wait till the end, whatever you want. Or I'll also be presenting another device on Thursday, so you could send email or whatever with questions, and I can answer it at the beginning of the next presentation. Okay, now to get into the phone itself, first let's discuss who it's for. The phone supports talk and text and a number of other applications, but it's basically a talk and text phone. So it is designed for seniors primarily, although not necessarily exclusively, who want something quite simple and easy to use. So talk, text, and no browser, no email, but a number of other useful applications, which we'll learn about later. Also, no ability to download apps, so no access to the Google Play Store. So you're limited to the apps that are preloaded onto the device. With respect to networks, the phone works with the T-Mobile network, and it is also AT&T certified as a BYOD, or bring your own device. What that means is that it's been tested by AT&T and passed its quality standards for such testing. And if you take the Minivision 2 Plus to an AT&T store and ask for an AT&T SIM card or a reseller of AT&T, I believe Cricket's a reseller and owned by AT&T, then they will recognize the device. They won't say, what is this? I've never seen this, or it's not in our systems. I mean, they might never have seen it, but if they look in their systems, though, they will see that it is AT&T certified. And as a result, they'll be more than happy to put an AT&T SIM card into the phone and it'll work right away. No need to change APN settings or anything like that. On top of it being certified and working with T-Mobile and AT&T, it also works with any of the wireless resellers that operate on those networks. So an example, as I mentioned, would be Cricket or Metro by T-Mobile or Consumer Cellular, Mint Mobile, etc. Okay, all of those operate on one of those two networks. In addition to the phone, when you receive a device from Raz, you will receive a free SIM card. The phone is unlocked, but the consumer can use that SIM card if they want. It's a Mint Mobile SIM card and comes with 3 months of free service. And the cost after that is fairly low. It's between $15 and $25 a month, depending on whether you prepay for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. Okay, so if you prepay for the entire year, it comes out to $15 per month. And again, the first 3 months are free. So if your consumer wants to use Mint Mobile, they would take that Mint Mobile SIM card, they'd put it in the phone, and they would go to Mint Mobile's website, www.mintmobile.com, and tap on the activate or click on the activate button on the top right of the screen and follow the process of activating a Mint Mobile SIM card, and it'll work within seconds of setting it up. You can also, of course, transfer or port a number used with a different wireless provider to Mint Mobile, so you don't need a new phone number if you want to use an existing number. Okay, so actually, I believe that the Mint SIM card kit was provided to all of you, so you should have that, and if you want, you can go through that experience. Going to the phone itself. Let's say you need, the first step obviously is to put that SIM card into the phone, okay? What you do is you remove the back of the phone. So it's not like a typical smartphone. There's a little sort of an edge or a wedge in the bottom left of the phone. You pull it. I'm going to do it on the screen for those of you who can see. And you remove that back, and then you'll see the battery and some of the innards of the phone. And you would remove the battery, which I just did. And behind the battery is a little slot for the SIM card. Okay. And so this is the only portion of setting up the phone that I would say is challenging for someone with no vision. It's great if you have someone with eyes who can help with putting in the SIM card, making sure that the SIM card is actually put in the correct manner so that obviously the service works. Once the SIM card is in, just put the battery back in, like I just did. Put the back of the phone on, and it snaps. And that's it. It's actually super easy to take the back off and very easy to put it back on. Once you've done that, then power on the phone, okay? The power button is actually the red button on the right side of the phone. It's got 3 horizontal bumps on it, okay? So there are 2 buttons that actually 3 buttons that are textured. One is the power button, and it's got those 3 horizontal bumps. So you would press that in order to turn on the phone. So the power button isn't on an edge of the phone, the top edge or a side edge. It's on the flat surface of the phone. Looking at the phone, I'm pointing at it. You can see where it is for those who can follow. Okay, so I just turned on the phone myself. Going through other elements of the physical description of the phone. At the bottom edge of the phone, you've got the micro USB port. So it is a micro USB, which is a little bit of a pain, but that's the way it is. So you got to make sure that you put it in a certain direction, right? It's not like a USB type C where you can put it where it's not directional. So you got to put it in correctly. So that's one way to charge the phone. The other way to charge the phone is with a cradle, which is obviously the easiest way. You would just put the phone, set it in the cradle. It's in every single box. It comes with the phone and it will charge. One thing that's a little inconvenient about using the cradle is that the cradle won't work if you have a case on, because the case interferes with the ability to connect the phone to the connectors of the cradle. So those are the two ways to charge. In the back of the phone, there's an SOS button. So I think there was just talk about what you know for an emergency. So here in this case, there's an SOS button. So we'll talk about how to program that SOS button. But if someone falls or they're concerned about assault or whatever the case might be, they would press that SOS button to start the emergency process. You can also see in the back you've got the speaker. Okay. Also at the bottom edge of the phone, there's a port for headphones. Okay. So it does, and it actually, the box should include some earbuds with it. So you can use those earbuds, which also serves as an antenna actually for the FM radio. And you would plug it in, you would put the connector, you would into the bottom edge of the Univision 2 Plus, where you'll see that port. With respect to the phone itself, the top, I would say 40% of the phone has a display, okay? And the remainder has the keypad. Right underneath the display are what I could describe as the command buttons. And below the command buttons is the T9 traditional keypad. And so that keypad would be used to input numbers, digits, 1 through 9 and 0, as well as letters. So, the 2 is ABC, 3 is DEF, etc. With respect to the command buttons, as I mentioned, there's a power button, and there is and on top of that, there's a back button. So putting the phone up to the video, to the camera, my fingers on the power button. Right on top of that is the back button. Okay, that's on the sort of the right side of the phone facing you. And then just to the left of that, in the middle.
Excuse me, Robert. Sorry,
Sure.
This is Jane. Yeah, please keep in mind that most of our audience is blind. They might need a little bit more description.
Okay.
And I know that, but anyway, if you could just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay, I'll do both. I'm trying to do both. I'll
Yeah,
do video
that would be great.
and describe it as best I can.
Thanks.
So first, showing it to the video, there's some buttons right in the middle. For those of you who can't see, the OK button or select button is a textured, it's a textured button. It's got these little dimples on it, and it's surrounded by these arrow keys. So that's what we would call the OK button. Okay. And then just to the right of the OK button, one of the arrow keys, and just to the left are the arrow keys that control the volume. Okay, so I'll just show you how that's done.
Volume settings. Voice, 10, voice, 12, voice, 13 of 15.
Okay, so I pressed the right arrow button.
Home screen, 3:18 p.m.
And that increased the volume. If I pressed the button just to the left of the OK button, that would reduce the volume.
Volume settings. Voice.
Okay, so I'm lowering it. And then on top of the OK button and below the OK button, those two kind of vertical, if you will, the two vertical arrow keys, those are used to navigate the menu. So every single menu a menu item is organized as a list. So it's always vertical, a vertical list. And you would need to go up and down that list to hear what the menu item you want, and then select it with the OK button. So you would use those arrow keys to go up and down the menu item, the menu list, sorry. To the left of those OK buttons and arrow keys, you'll see or feel a button with 3 vertical dots. Okay, that's the call button. And right on top of, and for those of you who can see the video, I'm pointing at it. Right on top of that, and you should be able to feel it quite easily, is the additional menu item button. So if you're in a certain menu, you could press it and you'll get more options. So we'll call it the more option button, sort of like a sub menu of the larger menu. Okay, so those are the buttons that are on the phone. One thing I forgot to mention with respect to the keypad itself, the numbers 1 through 9 and 0. The 5 has a decent sized bump on it for those who want to try to orientate themselves and find that 5. Okay, any questions regarding the layout of the phone before I talk a little bit about other things? No, good. Okay, so turning now towards the experience, the user experience. First of all, with respect to accessibility, accessibility is achieved in one of 3 ways. First of all, you've got the user guide. The user guide is what speaks, and everything speaks. So everything is every feature is accessible to someone with no vision at all. Okay, and it should be emphasized that you can also, for those with low vision, you can change the things like the font size and so forth, which we'll discuss later. But the voice guide is what's used to get that audio feedback. The next accessibility feature is the voice commands. So you can write text by voice, you can pull up certain apps by voice, and you can call by voice, so and text. So we will go over that fairly soon. So you've got the voice guide, you've got the voice commands, and you've got the tactile buttons. That's the third thing. So you'll see by feeling the keypad that the buttons are quite tactile. And as I mentioned, you've got 3 buttons that have different textures on them to make them easier to identify. The arrow keys actually around the OK button are also raised and quite tactile as well. So hopefully those are easy for you to find. Okay. The way you orientate yourself on the phone, sort of to know where you are, is by, let's say, getting to the home screen. So you always want to know where you are, that you're at the home screen. And the way that occurs is it'll always announce when you get to the home screen. And you could actually customize what it announces, but typically it's, it's the time, it's the battery power, the missed calls, missed messages, etc. So I will just lock the screen here for a second.
Screen off.
You heard it say screen off. So let's say I wanted to turn the screen back on. I would press the power button, just tap it. Don't press and hold, just tap it, and that actually unlocks the screen.
Home screen, 3:23 p.m. Battery level, 77% remaining. 8 new text messages.
Okay, so you heard it make an announcement, and when it makes that announcement, you're at the home screen. It mentioned a couple of things. You could also have it announce the date if you want, and the wireless provider and the level of connectivity, but that's a little long, so I cut that out for purposes of this demonstration. Or if you want, you could have it just announce the time and the missed calls and missed messages. That's also, but having it announce the battery power actually is also very helpful, but it's up to you. As I said, it can be customized. So that's how you're at the home screen. Once you're at the home screen, you can access the menu system. Okay, so to do that, you would press the OK button, that button in the middle. So I'm going to do that.
Phone.
And it announces the top item on the list of menu items. In this case, the top item, not in this case, the top item on the list is phone. Okay, and then you would press that down arrow to get to the other items.
Contacts. Messages. Volume settings.
I'm going to make it a little
Voice.
louder. I'm
12
sorry.
of 15. Voice. 13 of 15. Messages.
Okay.
8. Unread messages. Alarm.
Okay, so I'm just going down that list and you can hear the various options, the various, we'll call them apps, available on the Minivision 2 Plus. Okay, so just so you know, or have the various items, the various apps that are available, and I believe that there are 24 of them. I'm going to go through that entire list and you can just listen to them. So
Phone.
I've already mentioned phone. That's the first of the 24. So be patient and listen to the others.
Contacts. Messages. 8.
That-
Unread messages.
That's text messages.
Alarm. Calendar. Camera. Gallery. FM radio.
By the way, the gallery is a photo gallery.
Light detector. Color detector. Banknote recognizer. Calculator. Voice recorder. Notes.
Those are voice notes.
Flashlight. Weather. Emergency. Where am I? User manual. Settings.
Okay, so those are the 24 items or apps that are available through the menu system. And if I don't want to go all the way back up, because it's not a carousel, right? And it's kind of tedious to press the up button 24 times, I would then press and hold the arrow key and it'll skip to the first item.
Phone.
Okay, so you heard it just went from settings all the way back to the top by pressing and holding that arrow key back to phone. And similarly, if I want to go to the very bottom, I would press and hold that arrow, the bottom, the down arrow key.
Settings.
And I'm at the last menu item, which is settings. So I don't have to go one by one, let's say, if I want to access settings.
Phone.
Okay. The other thing you can do, actually, and this is kind of neat, with the keypad, you can assign a certain app to a given number on the keypad. So let's say you access the weather app a lot, you could press and hold the number 2 and assign the weather app to a particular digit. And I'll actually show, I'll show that later. Now, as you're going through the various menu items, you're hearing them speak. And to select that menu item, you just press that OK button or select button. I'll refer to it as the OK button. So let's say I wanted to open the alarm.
Contacts. Messages. 8. Alarm.
Now I'm pressing the OK button.
List of alarms. List empty.
Okay, I don't have any alarm set, but I pressed OK and it opened the alarm app. Okay, now to go back to the main menu, remember I just pressed that back button that is on top of the power button. Okay, so I'm going to press that back button.
Alarm.
And I am back to the main menu. Okay, now if I press the back button again.
Home screen. 3:28 p.m.
I'm at the home screen. Now, another way to get to the home screen is to tap the red power button. So let me do that.
Phone.
Let's go into, let's say, contacts.
Contacts. Robert Felgar. Mobile.
Okay, so I'm a couple levels deep here. I'll press that red power button, just tap it.
Home screen. 3:28 p.m.
And I got back to the home screen. Okay, so there's a couple things you need to learn here in order to navigate the phone well. And certain buttons, especially the power button, do multiple features, multiple functions. Okay, now we're not going to go through all 24 apps. I think they're actually mostly very, very simple, but we will go through some of the primary apps. And the first app that we'll go through is Contacts. Then we'll go through the phone app, and then we'll go through the text messaging app. Okay. So let's say I want to add a contact, right? Then I would go to the main menu,
Phone.
scroll to Contacts,
Contacts.
press OK, because that's what I want.
Contacts. Robert Felgar, mobile.
Okay, I've got one contact, me, okay? And if I had a list, I could scroll through that list, right? Using the up and down arrow keys, scroll through that list. Again, it's a vertical list, just like everything else. It's always a vertical list, but I only have one item, okay? And let's say I wanted to add a contact. In this case, I would press that more options menu, more options button, which is on top of the call button with the 3 vertical bumps. So if you put your finger on that button with the 3 vertical bumps, it's on the left, and you just move your finger up, you will get to the button. It's right on top of that button that gives you those more options. I'm going to tap on it.
Contact menu. New contact.
Okay, so it gives me 4 options actually within that contact menu. So it's a sub menu of the contact menu, gives me an option to create a new contact. I would tap on it because I want to create a new contact. So I'm tapping OK.
Contacts. New contact. First name, empty.
Okay, so it's going through, and again, it's organized as a vertical list. It's always consistent and organized as a vertical list. You've got 4 items. You've got first name, surname, i.e. last name, the number, and whether it's a mobile number or a landline number. So let's say I want to add the first name, press OK.
Edit box, empty.
Okay, now I can edit. Now I can type in that first name. Now I'm going to do it by voice typing, because any edit box, you can use either the keypad, and since it's a T9 keypad, not the easiest, it's a little slow, or you can use voice typing, and I prefer voice typing, and the voice typing is quite good. So I'm in that edit field. I press and hold the OK button in this case. Okay, so I don't just tap the OK button, I press and hold it, wait for a beep, which isn't that loud, and then when I hear that beep, I speak the name of the person that I want as the contact. So let me do it.
Speak after the beep.
John.
John. New contact. John.
Okay, so when it said John, I pressed OK, and the first name is listed as John in the contact. I'm not going to add the last name, but I will add a number.
Surname, number, empty.
Okay, press OK.
Edit box, empty.
I want to input it by voice.
Speak after the beep.
703-517-9913.
7,035,179,913.
Okay, little bug there, but I got it right.
New contact. 703-517-9913.
Okay, so it's done. So that contact is in. I don't have to add a last name if I don't want to. So in this case, I won't. Now I want to go back, so I press that back button.
New contact successfully created. Contacts. John, mobile.
Okay, so I now have 2 contacts, John and myself, Robert Felgar, and you see that it's alphabetical. So John is first and
Robert Felgar
is
mobile.
next. Robert Felgar is next. So it does alphabetize things.
Hey, Robert, this is
Yes.
Jane interrupting again. Sorry.
Sure.
But I know that a lot of us are not using SIM cards right now. Could you walk us through putting our phones, getting them connected to the internet so that we can follow more closely what you're doing?
Okay, so for purposes of following me, you actually don't need any connectivity. So it's actually very easy because as long as you don't actually make a phone call, which you cannot do without a SIM card anyway,
Battery level, 98% remaining.
you do not need connectivity. So you should be able to, well, you can't use the voice without it. That's true. You could do everything I'm doing except for adding things by voice, but let's do that. I'll show you where you can connect to Wi-Fi. Hopefully some of you have Wi-Fi wherever you are. So let's go back to the home screen.
John, mobile. Home screen, 3:34 p.m.
Okay, go press the OK button to go get to the menu.
Phone,
Okay, press and hold the down arrow key
settings,
to get to settings. Jane, are you following me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I got to settings, press the OK button on settings.
settings, display,
Okay, the first item is display. Now you want to find Wi-Fi, which is the fourth item. So press the down arrow key a couple times.
vocalization, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi,
Okay, click the OK button on Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, not checked.
You want it checked if you're using Wi-Fi. I have a SIM card in the phone, so I don't need it, but let's say I checked it.
Wi-Fi, checked. Wi-Fi, checked.
And
No Wi-Fi connected. No networks. Scan networks.
you would scan networks to find your network.
Wi-Fi scan started. RAS production, security, PSK, signal strength, 3 of 4.
Okay, so find whatever Wi-Fi you want to connect to, press OK,
Edit box, enter Wi-Fi password.
and enter the password. That's how you would connect to Wi-Fi.
Thank you, Robert.
Sure. Okay, so let's say this is actually a good example of when I would want to go to home and not press by pressing one button instead of pressing the back button multiple times because I'm deep into the menu system. So if you recall, I would tap the power button. Okay, so I'm going to tap it.
Home screen, 3:36 p.m.
And it went right to the home screen. Okay. So we went through contacts. So you now know how to add a contact. You saw that we could do it either by typing using the keypad or by voice typing using our voice, as the name suggests. So the next thing I want to do is go over calling, phone calls.
And the places. So
Is everyone okay?
the appointment is 5:30.
Okay.
Because she also after finish her work at 4:30 and then need more time.
Sorry,
to-
someone's not on mute. I apologize for interrupting your conversation.
Lardent, L''ARDENT.
Okay.
And it sounds French, but it's a restaurant, Italian restaurant.
Hello?
They have amazing pizza. So let's try.
Jane?
Okay.
And it's going to be a 15-minute.
Hey, folks, everybody needs to
So,
check and see if you're on
you can,
mute or not, because we're hearing someone's conversation.
Go outside around 5
Yeah,
or 10.
I do see it is Patrick Forrest, and I'm trying to mute him.
And then I'm gonna join the
Second.
meeting around 3:15. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Done? Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to go through the phone now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
D'accord.
Oops.
There's a lot of still
Okay. We'll try to talk a little louder
We
over
actually,
them.
didn't finish the things
I'll
that we're
project.
trying to
Okay, so
change.
you press the OK button to find, okay, let me just step back a little bit.
My answer.
There's a number of ways that you can make a phone call.
Can I give it to you by
There's in
text?
fact at least 4 ways.
By text?
So perhaps the
Yeah,
easiest way is to use
I got a
your
conference
voice.
in my ear
No,
at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
later.
that's fine.
So
because
you would press and hold that OK button
Okay.
from the home
Yep.
screen and say, call whoever the contact is. Okay, so very easy to do. So I'll do that right now as an example. Press and hold the OK button, wait for the beep, say call. In this case, I'll say call Robert.
Speak after the beep.
Call Robert.
You want to call Robert Felgar, mobile?
I'll just press the call button, which is the button with the 3 vertical bumps. And it is now ringing in my earpiece. You won't hear it ring. It's ringing on my other phone. Okay. To hang up.
Home screen, 3:39 p.m.
To hang up, you would press again that the power button. You would just tap it. That's the button again with the 3 horizontal bumps. So that's one way to make a phone call. It's the easiest way, perhaps. The other thing you could do when you're on the home screen is you could just type the digits. Okay, so I'll do that.
Edit box, 7, 0, 3.
I would continue typing, but let's say I wanted to delete a number, I would just press that the same button that's used to go back. Okay, so it's in the top right corner, that back button.
3 deleted.
Okay, so I can delete numbers with that back button, and I can move the cursor. Let's say I wanted to keep the 0 because I have 7, 0, but I want to delete the 7. I could use the arrow keys, the left arrow key to go back, to move the cursor back.
7.
It's telling me it's at the cursor's right before the 7, and then I could press the delete button or the back button.
7 deleted.
Robert, 1 second. I just want to interrupt you for a minute.
Sure.
We have Patrick Forrest who have joined in, and
0.
I'm
End
unable
of the
to
text.
mute him. If you can please mute yourself, Patrick Forrest, that would be very helpful. Yeah, for some reason I'm not able to mute him, so if you can mute yourself, that would be very helpful. Go ahead, continue, Robert.
Okay, so we've gone through 2 ways to make phone calls. Now we'll go through another way, and this is a common way we all make phone calls, is we find the person's contact and dial right from the contact. So I'm going to go back to the home screen.
Home screen, 3:41 p.m.
And I did that by tapping that power button. Press the OK button.
Phone.
I'm at phone, select phone, so I'm pressing OK.
Call contact.
I want to call that contact.
Contacts. John, mobile.
The second person in the contact is me.
Robert Felgar, mobile.
Right? So I just press OK when I hear the name of the person I want to call. So let's say I want to call myself. I'll press OK. And the call is initiated. Okay, so it's calling. Whoops, I'm going to hang up.
Phone. Call contact. Phone.
Okay, so the final way that is commonly used to make a call is to go to the call history. So again, I would go to that phone app.
Phone. Call contact.
There's 4 items in that phone menu. The first you hear is call contact. The second is
Dial.
dial. I could dial there if I wanted.
Call history.
And call history. So if I wanted to access call history, press the OK button.
Call history. Robert Felgar, October 31st, 2023, 3:42 p.m. Outgoing call.
Okay. Now here, I need to tell it what to do once I get to Robert Felgar. So that I press the more options button.
History menu. Delete all.
Whoops, that wasn't right. Don't want to delete all.
Call history. Robert Felgar, October 3rd. Actions history. Call.
Okay, so what I did was I pressed actually the call button. When I heard Robert Felgar, it says call, and I could either press the OK button or I could press the call button. Again, that's the button with the 3 vertical bumps, and it will make a call. Okay, so those are the main ways to call. The final way to call is to use speed dial. So you could set up, as I mentioned, you could set up the dial pad, the 1 through 9 and the 0 to do various functions. So I could either use it to, I could associate a number with an app to open an app or as a speed dial number. So let's say I wanted to have the number 2 as a speed dial number to call John. I would press and hold the number 2. Somehow I deleted my volume. One second. Not sure what I did here. Hold on, bear with me. I'm going to turn the phone on and off. Hopefully that'll resolve the issue. Somehow I...
Switch off the phone? Okay. Cancel. Home screen. 3:44 p.m.
Okay, it started to talk again for some reason. Okay, so let's go back to the setting up the speed dial. Press and hold the number 2.
Quick access. On key 2. What do you want to do? Call contact.
Okay, do I want to call a contact or the second item in the list?
Start application.
Okay, so I could use that 2 to do either one. So I want to
Call contact.
call contact, press OK.
Contacts. Robert Felgar, mobile.
I'll say yes, that's what I want to associate Robert Felgar with the number 2.
On key 2. What do you want to do? Set quick access. Call contact Robert Felgar on key 2.
Yes. So I press OK, go back.
Home screen. 3:45 p.m.
And then number 2 is associated with Robert Felgar. Okay. So that's another way to do it. The next thing I want to go through is text messaging.
Phone. Messages. 8.
You would go to
Unread
messages, and you could send a text message by going to messages in the menu item, or you could use your voice from the home screen. So let's say I wanted to use my voice actually. I would just say send message to, and then the name of the contact. So I'll do that. Let me go home.
Home screen. 3:46 p.m.
Press the OK button, press and hold the OK button.
Speak after the beep.
Send message to Robert.
You want to send a message to Robert Felgar, mobile?
Yes, so I'm pressing the OK button.
Edit box. Type text message.
Okay. Now I can voice type. As I mentioned, I like to voice type, so I will press and hold that OK button.
Speak after the beep.
I'm giving a presentation for the state of Maryland.
I'm giving a presentation for the state of Maryland.
I like it, so I'll press OK,
Sending. Message sent.
and it's sent. Okay. So that's the easiest way probably to send a text message.
Home screen. 3:47
The other
p.m.
way is to go into the menu items.
Messages. 8.
Click on
Unread
messages.
messages. Message. Robert Felgar.
Okay, now it's giving me all the conversations, right? I clicked on messages. It's giving me a list of all the conversations. I can access those conversations, or I can press that more options button in the top left.
Message menu. New message.
I want to send a new message, so I press OK.
Contacts. Contacts.
I want to send it to one of my contacts, so press OK.
Contacts. Robert Felgar, mobile.
And again, you hear my contacts. I would select it, and then in the edit field would pop up, and I would either type the message or use the voice typing, same as I just did. So that's the way you would send a text message. I'm going to go home.
John, mobile. Home screen. 3:48 p.m.
Okay, let's just go through a couple other apps. As I mentioned, they're really, really simple. Most of them, they only involve a couple of taps, if you will. So I don't need to go through every one, but just to show you how easy it is, let's just say I want to access the weather app. I'll press the OK button.
Phone.
I think the weather app is towards the bottom, so I'm going to press and hold that down key.
Settings.
Find the weather app.
Use weather.
There we go. Here it is. Press OK.
Weather. Loading weather data. Please wait. Weather cabin John. Today, broken clouds. Temperature 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind speed 4 miles per hour.
Okay. And then if you want to get the forecast for tomorrow, you press the down arrow key.
Tomorrow, scattered clouds. Temperature 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind
And-
speed 13 miles per hour.
And just go down and down to get Thursday, Friday, etc. So that's how easy it is to find the weather. And many of the other apps are just as easy. Okay, so for example, if I want to do money recognizer, I think it's called currency identifier. It's a matter of one tap as well. So very easy to use. I want to show you one other useful app, which I think is very easy to use but unique.
Weather.
Let's find voice recorder.
Flashlight notes. Voice recorder.
Press OK.
Voice recorder. New voice memo.
Tap OK. I am giving a presentation for the state of Maryland on this very cold Tuesday.
Save.
Okay, so I pressed the OK button when I was done. I want to save, so I'm pressing the OK button.
The voice memo has been saved.
Okay, and that voice memo has been saved, as you can hear.
Voice recorder. New voice memo.
Now, if I go to the next item list, it is
Voice memo list.
the list of voice memos. So I would tap on that, and then it would provide me the list of memos that I've created, and I can actually go in and change the names and so forth of the various, and of course, delete if I wanted the various memos. So that's another example of a very simple app that's available on the Minivision 2 Plus. Okay, so now I want to go through some settings.
Voice recorder.
Let's go home. Actually, let's go to settings.
Settings.
I won't go through every setting, but I'll go through the most important ones. There's one setting called display. Okay, and this is very important for people with low vision. So this is where you would increase the font size, and you can make it really large so that one character takes up most of the display, and then it'll scroll across. You could also adjust the speed at which it scrolls across in that menu item, the display menu item. You can bold the text if that helps the person see a little bit better, and you can change the text and background color. In other words, the color scheme. So if the person sees better yellow on black, that's available. Yellow on blue, obviously white on black, and black on white, and a couple others. So that's all available in display. There's also a setting item called vocalization, and that controls the speed of speech. So what you're hearing now is the default, but I can make it speak quite a bit faster. So I'll just show you that by example. So I'm going to press OK because I heard it say settings just a minute ago.
Settings. Display.
Go down.
Vocalization.
Press OK.
Vocalization. Screen reader. Checked.
Okay, so I could actually turn off the voice guide right there if I wanted.
Premium voices. Not speed of speech.
Okay, that's what I want. I want to change this the speed.
Speed of speech. Normal. Checked. Fast. Not checked. Screen reader. Checked.
Okay, I just pressed OK under fast, and now you could hear how fast it is with this.
Premium voices. Not checked. Screen reader. Checked.
Okay, so I'm actually going to slow it down again.
Premium voice. Speed of speech. Speed of speech. Fast. Normal. Not checked. Screen reader. Checked.
Okay, so you can see where I can do that. Under vocalization, I can also change what's called the wake up speech. So remember I told you when you get to the home screen, you can control what it says. Like if you want it to say the date in addition to the time and so forth, or maybe you don't want it to say anything, you would go to the wake up speech under the vocalization menu, and you would customize that. You would indicate what you want it to say when it gets to that home screen. Okay. Also available under vocalization is the premium voices. So if you wanted to, you know, to say if you don't like its default voice, you could download those premium voices. It doesn't cost anything, and you have some additional options.
Settings. Vocalization.
Okay, under vocalization is Bluetooth,
Bluetooth.
so it can connect to Bluetooth headphones.
Wi-Fi.
And underneath that is Wi-Fi, which actually we went through. Underneath Wi-Fi,
Network.
well, let's not go through network.
Security.
Is security. So security is where you would set up security for your phone on the home screen. Let's say you wanted to password protect it. You could set that up under security. You could set up a PIN. There isn't that much on the phone that's sensitive in terms of information. Obviously, you've got your contacts, but there's no health information or financial information. So if you can avoid setting up a PIN, I would avoid doing it unless the consumer really thinks that that it's important. Finally, under security,
Language.
you've got languages. That's very important. Languages that are supported include English, Spanish, and there's a couple of different Spanish dialects. And there are 14 languages in total. So you could explore that to see all 14 languages. There's Russian, Dutch, why Dutch? I don't know, but there's Dutch, number of other European languages. Which makes sense, actually, now that I think about it, because the phone is manufactured in France, so sells in Europe. That's a primary market for them. So it's got many of the European languages, but most importantly for us, it's English and Spanish. You can also set up under
Keypad. Date and time. About phone. About phone.
You could also set up, actually, let's go back to the main menu item.
Settings. Settings.
Sorry.
Settings.
Okay, so we're back to the main menu. If you go up a couple notches.
User manual. Where am I?
By the way, that's a GPS. You just tap it and it'll tell you your location. So if you're disoriented when you're navigating, you could go to that where am I function and it'll give you the nearest address. Again, very simple to use. There's almost nothing to learn. Just press OK on where am I and it'll give you the address.
Emergency.
So this is where you would set up your SOS. I'm going to tap on emergency.
Emergency. Emergency button checked.
Okay, so you can activate or deactivate your emergency button. You might want to deactivate it for a consumer. Let's say they have hand tremors or they're not very good at controlling their hands or something like that. You don't want them to obviously consistently press that SOS button in the back of the phone by accident. But in my case, I've activated it.
Activation delay. Play an alarm not checked.
So I have the option to play an alarm if I press that SOS button to get people's attention.
Set phone numbers.
And this is where I would set phone numbers. I can set up to 10 phone numbers. So it'll call those 10 phone numbers in sequence until someone picks up when I press that SOS button. And
phone call checked.
Sorry.
Answer delay. Send a message not checked.
Send a message. So I can also have the option of sending text messages. So I can send, I could set up, let's say 10 emergency contacts. I can say whether they want to be called in the case of, that I press that SOS button and whether they want to be texted. So I could do both if I really, really want to make sure that someone responds to my SOS message. So those are the main features of the phone. If you want to learn more, let's say you do want to go through all 24 apps, there are audio tutorials on our website. Okay, it's www.razmobility.com. Just look at the support section, go to the support section and click on the MiniVision 2 Plus. All those audio tutorials are there, as well as a user guide. In addition, you can access the user guide from the phone itself. So let's go back on our phone.
Emergency.
I'm going to go down to items.
Where am I? User manual.
Okay, if I click on user manual, I can
New
access.
update downloaded.
Okay, thank you. I can
Downloading. User manual. Start.
Okay, you can see how it's organized.
Chapters.
It's divided into chapters and so forth, and I could access whatever I want to access. So that user guide is available on the phone and as well as through our website. And that's all that I have that I wanted to cover for the MiniVision 2 Plus, and I am finishing at 3:59, so perfect timing. But there is no time for questions. So, unless you want to ask questions, I'm not in any rush. Jane, what do you want to do?
Yeah, if we've got questions, that would be great. If anybody wants to ask something, please raise your hand and Vishnu will call on you.
Yes, we do have people that have raised their hands. We would like to first take a question from Betsy Hines.
Hi, Robert. I heard
Betsy.
you give instructions on how to access speed dial by pushing down the number, but I must have missed how you program a person to be in that number. I only have one contact, which is me, and if I press down any of the numbers, I'm popping up. So how do I assign somebody to each number?
Because you're the only contact. So in order to assign someone to a speed dial, they need to be a contact. So if you're the only contact, you're only going to be able to assign yourself. But you would press and hold the button, let's say the number 2 or the number 3, whatever button you want to assign to someone. And then it'll give you an option to assign a contact to that button or an app.
Key 2. What do you want to do? Call
Okay, I don't see where it's doing that. So when I press down the
User
button,
manual.
Sorry. Let me just lower my volume here on
Yeah,
my
I'm trying to
phone. I
lower mine too.
apologize.
Volume settings. Voice.
So I'm going to go
7 of
home.
15. Home screen. Volume
I'm going to
settings.
press and hold the
Voice,
number
8 of
3.
15.
Okay.
Home screen. 4:01 p.m. On key 3. What do you want to do? Call contact.
Did you hear that? It said call contact when I pressed, right? So I would press OK when I heard call contact. I'll do that right now.
Contacts. John. Mobile.
Okay, and it's listing my 2 contacts. I can hear my 2 contacts. Let me get a little
Volume
louder.
settings. Voice. 13 of 15. Contacts.
Okay, so it said John, and then the next one
Robert
is
Felgar.
Robert
Mobile.
Felgar. I would press OK on the person I want to assign to the number 3. Is that
okay.
clear?
Yeah, no, I was trying to play with it and I couldn't get it to get there. But I think I did not press down OK when I got to.
Yeah,
You did
you
it
got
to
to
make
press
it work.
OK when you hear that person's name that you want to assign to the number. You got to press OK.
Okay, because it
All right.
doesn't say assigned number, it just says contact. And you have to hit OK then, and
Right.
then it takes you deeper into it. I didn't go that deep into it. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have a question from Tiffany Green.
Yes, hi, Robert. Great presentation.
Thanks, Tiffany.
You're welcome. I have a couple of questions and an observation. My first question is, could you go over again how to take the back off? I know you said there was a notch or something on the left bottom corner, but I didn't
Yes.
quite notice that. So because the back is more rounded in the
Yes.
back, is that notch more towards the front?
If you flip the phone over so the back is facing you, okay, the notch is on the bottom left corner.
Okay.
You should be able to put your nail underneath it if you have, if you've got a little bit of a nail, and it actually comes off quite easily.
Okay. I'll have to play with that.
You don't have the case on it, do you?
Oh, you know what? I do. I didn't realize.
Yeah, you
Okay,
won't feel it with the case on it.
Yes, I didn't realize it had a case. I thought that was part of the backing.
Yeah, if you feel
Okay.
that silicone case, then
Yes.
obviously you're not going to be able to open the back.
Thank you so much for that clarification.
Yeah.
The other question is, I found the option for premium voices, and when I hit OK, it says remove premium voices. But how do you actually access the premium voices?
You should be able to download it. There should be an option to download. Are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just go back.
I
Home
think they're
screen,
already
4:04 p.m.
downloaded because it's given me the option to remove them. But I
That
just
could be, it could have been that they downloaded. Let me just go to mine and see what my experience is, because
Okay.
I'm not sure if I've downloaded my premium voices or not. This is a phone I've had for a while. 1 second.
Okay.
Phone. Settings. Settings. Display. Vocalization. Vocalization. Premium voice. Do you want to download and install premium voices?
Did you
Yes.
hear this?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I don't know why, but this is, maybe yours were downloaded beforehand. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna click OK on yes.
Select voice type. Mail. Download started.
Okay,
Cancel.
I'm gonna cancel because
1% downloaded.
okay, but that's how you would do it. So hopefully it could be that they're already, I assume it's because it's already downloaded. I'm not sure why they were already downloaded, but that the typical experience will be that it asks you if you want to download them.
So if they are downloaded, then do you access them through the menu option when you're on premium voices, or how would you actually change from one to another, or can you only?
I believe at that point they would be under languages, like you'll see if you go to languages, even for English, you'll see multiple options under English.
Okay.
Or Spanish, you'll see multiple options.
Okay. And the other observation I noticed under time and date, it says that the automatic time and date was on, and the automatic time zone was on, but the automatic time zone pushes it back about 6 hours, and I had to go in to change it to the 4 o'clock time zone for Eastern, which Eastern is normally 5, I thought. So I just wanted to point out that observation to change it to the Eastern time zone.
Okay, I'll look into that. I'm not sure. I don't want to take up too much time by
Right.
looking into that now, but not sure why it's not changing. I mean, mine is obviously working, but I'll look into that.
Right, I was able to change it. I just wanted to point out for anyone who had a different time on their device that they needed to go and choose the 4 o'clock time zone for it to work and turn off that automatic time zone setting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Desmond Jackson.
Hey, Robert.
Hi, Desmond.
Hey, thanks for that presentation. So I just had a couple questions. The first, is this a lockdown version of Android that the phone runs?
Yes, it's a sort of, it is a version of Android that's used to create this particular user experience. Obviously, it's a very altered version of Android, but yes.
Sure. Okay, and then I may have missed this earlier, but is the phone able to be updated? Are there software updates that come out periodically?
Yes. In fact, there was one not too long ago. So you can actually set it so that, you know, when you go to that home screen, you get notified when you missed a call or a text message. You can actually go to the settings and get notified when there's an update as well. So
Settings.
you would go to
Vocalization.
let me just
About
go to
phone.
you would go to settings.
Date keep. Security. Network. Wi-Fi. Bluetooth. Vocalization. Display. Vocalization. Display.
Hold on.
Vocalization. Vocalization. Screen reader.
Okay, so
Check.
you would go to vocalization under settings and the wake up speech, I believe.
Wake up speech. Current date.
And if you
Not
keep
checked.
going down,
New software update.
there
Check.
it is. So under vocalization, in settings, you would go down until you hear new software update. You click on that to make sure it's activated. And then when there is a new software update, it'll let you know when you get to when you're on the home screen.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Next, we have a question from Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Hey, Robert, thank you for the presentation.
My pleasure.
Really always informative. I appreciate it. One thing I ran into is even though it appears to be connected, I'm still not able to really do anything or get any kind of response when I go into settings or into different features. And I was hoping that being on Wi-Fi, connected to Wi-Fi, would give me access to just about everything except being able to do phone calls and text messages.
It should.
So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Okay, so will it read the menu items to you? Like
Yeah, it will.
okay. So let's say you go to contacts in the menu items,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say you just tried to add a contact. Let's call it ABC is the name. It doesn't matter what you call it. Can you add a contact?
Yeah, I can do that, but I can't give it a voice command to do anything.
That means it's not connected to the internet. Something's wrong with the Wi-Fi connection.
And that could just be this building. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, if it's not it needs an a decent internet connection, just like
yeah.
actually an iPhone or an Android device, it needs an internet connection to
I think
support
it's
voice.
just this building. Okay, all right, I'll try it elsewhere. Thank you, Robert.
Sure, you're welcome.
Vishnu, do we have any other questions?
Yes, we have a question from Imani Graham.
All right. So my question is there a default button that you can press to make the phone speak? So like if the phone is just not talking and it's not doing anything, is there a button you can push to, get it back talking again, or do you have to power it off?
Okay, in that case where it stopped talking for me, I actually didn't have to power it off. I just pressed that red button to put it, what do you call it, to lock the screen. And for some reason at that point, it's just started to talk. I'm not sure why it stopped talking for a couple seconds. Actually, that's the first time it happened to me. So if for some reasons it freezes, I would press that power button like I did, get to the lock screen, maybe it'll unfreeze. If it's still frozen, I would just power it off and power it back on. But that was really the first time it happened to me. So hopefully it's a very, very rare occurrence.
Okay, thanks.
I want to extend my special thanks to Betsy Hines for jumping in and helping us figure out how to pop the back open. It was the case. So
yes, thank you, Betsy.
That input from Betsy, and thank you so much, Robert, for your time and patiently staying here to answer everybody's question. So,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I couldn't raise my hand from the phone. So in the vocalization area, you had an option there for screen reader. What is that?
Okay, so let's say I want to turn the voice guide is the screen reader. I called it the voice guide, right? Well, it's what speaks to you as you navigate through the phone. So let's say the user is low vision, but they're not blind, and you make the font size really big so that they use their eyes to navigate instead of their ears. Then you can turn off the voice guide. That's the screen reader. So you're turning the voice guide on or off.
I'm glad I didn't uncheck it.
Yes. Otherwise, yes, that would be a problem. Once you've unchecked it, then it's hard to get back. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to call out on anyone else that in the group has any questions. If you would like to unmute and ask the question, feel free to do that now. All right, if not, then I think I will stop this recording. And we'll look forward for some announcements from Jane. There she is.
Hi, everybody. Yeah,
She
thank
appeared
you.
Perfectly.
Yeah. We are going to carry on with Robert Thursday with the RAS memory phone. And Robert, do you want to give us anything that we should be doing to get ready for that, or?
Actually, it would be a good idea if you wanted to sort of follow along here and experience it yourself. It would be a good idea to activate it on your own. Now, remember, so you all have welcome letters in your box. Now, the RAS memory cell phone is for someone who is low vision and has cognitive decline. It is not for someone who's blind. On top of that, it's designed to be managed by a caregiver, not the user, because we're assuming the user has cognitive decline. So for those who are blind, they might need help to, well, they won't be able to use it if they're blind. They will need, because it's designed for someone with low vision, honestly.
Okay, so for our participants who are blind, if you can, if you want to just join and get the information, or if you have a sighted coworker that can help you access the phone, I think that might be a solution.
Yes, and for those who are sighted, or for those who are blind and can get sighted help, use that welcome letter that you have with your box to follow those instructions to activate it. And then, because it's controlled by the caregiver remotely on the caregiver's own device, you would download that caregiver app that controls the RAS memory cell phone onto your personal device. So let's say I was the caregiver for my father who's low vision. I would manage the phone and put in the contacts and do everything else. So I would download the RAS Care app onto my personal device, which happens to be a Google Pixel. So the app is available in Android and iOS. So if you can, download that app onto your personal device, and then you can manage that RAS memory cell phone. But again, you're going to need some, it's designed for someone who's sighted.
We have one more question from Betsy Hines. Go ahead, Betsy.
And this isn't for Robert, but I'm not going to be able to make Thursday. Is the YouTube channel up and you can access the previous recordings already?
Not yet. That's a question for me. So we do have the recordings and we have been downloading them in a space. And we are working with our team to make sure that the videos are accessible for people who would be blind or have other disabilities. So they are not up yet on YouTube.
Okay, you're going to let us know when they're ready for us to be able to go back and watch them for sessions we've missed or reminders we need.
Thursday, but if you're just part of that mailing list, you'll get that communication from Jane.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
And then I've got one other announcement. We are juggling the schedule a little bit. So, and I will be sending this out by email to everyone, but next week we're going to be doing the Smart Vision 3 with Kenny Washington. And then the following week is The Real Sam with Carmen Ocha. And then the following week is, wait a minute, I'm sorry, we've got some schedule changes. I think Carmen is after Thanksgiving, and there's going to be 2 sessions where we're going to add another session of Blind Shell and probably one more session of the Smart Vision that week before Thanksgiving. And then after that, Carmen, and then after that, Pixel, and after that, the iPhone. So bear with us and we'll keep you updated in emails. And thank you all so much. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Robert.
everyone.
Okay,
Thanks,
see you on
Robert.
Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye.